Geologist Ish lives in peace in a beautiful home in the forest. He chooses to go to the quarry one morning in search of pyrite, and while leaving, he disregards his mother's summons. He is working when a snake unexpectedly bites his hand and then quickly moves on. He pulls out his phone and drops it down the hill while he's anechoing. He then sucks the venom out using a knife to make access easier. He is delirious after rushing back to his residence, drinking some water and then passing out on the bed. Ish's hand is extremely swollen and he hasn't moved after a few hours. He is unable to move or speak, but he can hear someone outside in a helicopter hammering on his door. He gets out of bed in the evening to obtain more water, but his clumsy motions cause him to spill it, forcing him to suck it from the floor. As Ish continues to call his mother, a text message from her reads, "We love you." Ish wakes up several days later with improved health and a normal hand. After washing his car, he climbs in, but it takes a few tries to start. When Ish arrives in town, he is shocked to see that the streets are deserted. He eventually finds a decaying body on the ground and stops the vehicle. There are more dead people inside other vehicles, and military cars are all over the place. He sees on a road sign that the US government has been suspended due to a worldwide pandemic. He gets back in his car and switches on the radio while he freaks out. The public is reminded by the news that everyone should stay indoors because the virus is deadly and extremely contagious. Ish is shocked to learn that both of his parents have passed away when he arrives at his family's house. He cries for a time before burying his parents in the backyard and bidding them farewell with a kiss on the forehead. Ish sleeps in his boyhood bed before continuing his quest for the town, where he discovers dozens of bodies in the church. He then drives to the bridge after gathering a number of goods, including a rifle, only to discover it barricaded. Before turning onto another equally empty road to Las Vegas, he lets out a frustrated yell. After failing to find anything in the buildings, Ish chooses to relax in a jar. He later gets a drink at a bar and spills it when he hears a voice frighten him. They are Anne and Milton, who explain that they became trapped here at the beginning and that they are immune. Ish discovers that the virus is fresh and that no one knows its origins. After Milton plays the announcement on his phone, people were beginning to worry on the streets because vaccines were not working. The virus eventually overtook the country after the authorities lost control. Ish abruptly acknowledges that he didn't think the new illness was this terrible, even though his parents had warned him about it. There are likely only a few survivors like them in the world because Milton and Anne tell him that all nations fell. Anne admits on a video call that she witnessed the deaths of her husband and daughters. Ish departs to use the lift while the two continue to drink, but he finds he has nowhere to go and collapses on the floor. He discovers Anne putting on pricey store-bought clothing the following morning. Anne responds that her heartbeat does not imply that she is alive when Ish questions whether existence matters. When the three of them get together for breakfast, Ish finds out that Milton's wife passed away in this. Ish exits the table in a rage and declares he will be leaving shortly. Milton uses the fact that they have food and a generator to try to persuade Ish to stay. He confesses that he and Anne have an arrangement as he shows Ish his gun. They will self-delete when the food is gone. Milton questions why anyone would want to survive when all they cared about is gone, when Ish notes that the nation has enough resources to endure 10 years. Ish invites Anne to accompany him before departing. Ish had to push her away when she rejects him but still gives him a kiss. Ish hears 2 gunshots as he leaves. Ish is so angry that he speeds down the road and nearly runs over a puppy, but he stops in time. He takes the dog, whom he calls Lucky, with him after interpreting this as a sign. Ish then makes a stop at the library and collects every survival book he can find. Ish returns to his former home to begin a new life with Lucky since Ish is still alive a year later. He keeps himself occupied by exercising and doing housework, but he feels like he's losing it, and occasionally he drives his car in circles. He hears Lucky barking one morning and notices smoke in the distance when he looks out the window. As soon as possible, Ish and Lucky hop in the car and head into town to track the smoke to a certain residence. When Ish explains his predicament, Emma, who had been carrying a rifle when she appeared on the roof, puts it down. She shares tea and bread with him, inviting him in and telling him she came a few days ago.
Ish wants to go, but Emma urges him to remain the night because they get along so well. Ish persuades her to join him live the following morning so they may spend time together. Ish removes the noose he hung up when he felt hopeless while Emma searches the house. They return to town to collect supplies after Emma discovers that the rats have entered the pantry. They must avoid the foul stink emanating from the remains and the few rats at the store. As the days go by, Emma and Ish establish a new routine.
Ish wants to go, but Emma urges him to remain the night because they get along so well. Ish persuades her to join him live the following morning so they may spend time together. Ish removes the noose he hung up when he felt hopeless while Emma searches the house. They return to town to collect supplies after Emma discovers that the rats have entered the pantry. They must avoid the foul stink emanating from the remains and a few rats at the store. As the days go by, Emma and Ish establish a new routine. To gather food, they fish and grow veggies. Because no one is around to stop them, animals start to appear on the streets of the town. After getting a haircut from Emma, Ish begins constructing a chicken coop in the hopes of starting a farm. Intimacy eventually develops between them. Ish needs to start utilizing other cars in town to fill up his tank when his own car runs out of gas. On top of the home, he starts erecting solar panels. He unintentionally slides off the roof one morning and falls, injuring his ankle. Emma admits that she misses having more people around and helps him inside while tending to him. Later, as he sleeps,